Hello, everybody out there on YouTube. This is Jeff Stipe with my very first #1 Savvy Sexy Social vlog every day in April. This is not the first time I've heard of this. Last year I thought about it, and as April ticked on, not one video got recorded. And this being April 1st, April Fool's Day 2017, which happens to be my anniversary, I thought, what a great day to get started. So I just happened to catch Savvy Sexy Social on YouTube today, and I saw it was starting in April, and I thought, let's give it a shot. So me being a perfectionist, it's going to be really tough for me to keep up with it, but hopefully I'll meet one of 4 goals. I mentioned it was my anniversary. It's my 19th anniversary of my wedding, so it was a good day. My wife didn't feel so good, but we ended up going to lunch, had a really good lunch, and just kicked back and watched TV. Caught a new series on Netflix called Travelers, and thanks to Cliff Ravenscraft for pointing that out to me through his podcast. And it's a very interesting show. So anyway, I'm trying to start a podcast, and me being the perfectionist and having a hard time coming up with the gumption to get it done. I record a bunch of things and I never really like it. So hopefully this will help me with that. And I mentioned I had 4 goals. One of them is to start a podcast. And part of that, I have something in mind that's going to give me a 7-minute spiel, which is a speech about something within the podcast. And that 7 minutes is driven from Toastmasters. I am a Toastmaster, always trying to improve how I speak and really build my confidence. I usually speak well, but I don't speak to cameras very well. So my wife always tells me, why don't you talk to the camera like you talk to me? So that's what I'm trying to do. That's first goal. Build my comfort level in front of a camera. And that's going to be a stretch goal for me. So it's going to be difficult. And with that, I talked about building my speaking skills. That goes along with my confidence. So I can speak well when I feel confident, but I don't often feel confident in front of a crowd or in front of a camera. And 3, I want to share my message. And what I'm focusing on is Christianity and politics. Not often a real easy combination to talk about, but I'm really driven. Because years ago I ran meetings at my church to talk about politics, and I think it went really well. But I gave it up because I didn't really care for how the leader who put me in the position of leading that church, I didn't really see eye to eye with her vision. And she didn't really see eye to eye with mine, so we parted company. And most everybody else did too, by the way. And the 4th is to share what is happening on a daily basis in April. So I mentioned today being my anniversary, so it was really good to bring some of that detail into the vlog, and I think it's going to make it easier to talk. So with that said, my mom came over for a visit on her anniversary. She had found an old message I sent to her about bringing pictures of my dad who passed away about 15 years ago. So she finally got around to it. And we looked at a bunch of family pictures and reminisced a little bit. Talked about some of our old animals. A dog that I had when I was probably 6. I still remember that dog. And that was 42 years ago. Of course, my wife's going to make noise. But anyway, she told me some old stories about how she had been married before and long before my dad came around, and how bad that was. And everybody's got their little skeletons in the closet, and I've got my own. And you know, my wife and I both had marriages before. We had different experiences, but they ended the same. Anyway, we looked through the pictures, and I found a bunch that I think my cousins will like for me to scan and send to them, because it's frankly their dad passed away too. So we talked about a lot of death and destruction, and some of the learnings from some of my uncles that passed on gave me, and I've turned into speeches, and how my mom had never heard any of my speeches. And I shouldn't be like that. My mom should hear all my speeches. So anyway, I say that a lot. That's part of my goal, not say anyway anymore. So really today, when mom came over, it exemplifies a new relationship that she and I have. She's older in her years, and she's had some health problems, and it's clear she won't be around forever. And we just lost my mother-in-law about a month and a half ago. So people do have expiration limits. So I feel like I have something in my hair. I don't think I'm going to cut that out. This is going to be natural right here. So anyway, I think that's about it for the first day. I'm going to just talk a little bit every day about what's happened in the day, and I'm going to try to keep it at 7 minutes because that's the Toastmaster way. And by the way, if you have never been to a Toastmasters meeting, I highly, highly, highly recommend it. It has done wonders for my ability to speak. Not much for the camera because we don't use cameras unless we choose to. But anyway, I totally recommend Toastmasters. It's very inexpensive by comparison, and you get real-time feedback from people who listen to your speeches, and you're guided through the journey very well. So anyway, that is my first episode of my vlog every day in April, thanks to Savvy Sexy Social. Hopefully I'll post this to YouTube and I'll hashtag it. Anyway, hopefully I'll catch you tomorrow, and let me know some feedback on my episode today. Like I said, this is my first one, so it's kind of awkward sitting here with a microphone in my face and the camera. But anyway, I hope to find it easier in the future. Have a great day. Later.